Hey, I'm Pulkit, one of the co-founders at Chameleon, and I wanted to take you through what we released in Q4. Our overall theme was shapes and control. For the first big release, we had themes. We've always had the ability to style Chameleon experiences to look native, but with themes, we added a lot of governance around this. So you could create a set of styles and configure it such that only certain people can adjust those styles, and everybody else who's creating experiences has to select a theme for those experiences. We provide really good UI to indicate when something might be off theme, to make sure that you can check and validate effectively, and you can create lots of different themes. For example, a dark mode, light mode might be one, but it could also be a theme for collecting feedback, or a different theme for promotions, different theme for helpful tips. So you can really coordinate it for your in-app experiences. So that's themes, giving you more control and a better shape in product. We also added a really powerful feature called element detection. So in Chameleon, there's lots of different ways and places that you can use elements. For example, attaching steps to an element, but also using an element being available on the page as a condition to show a step. So if an element then later becomes available on the page, the step would show, or being able to fire click on an element. And so there's lots of elements that are used when you're building in-app experiences with Chameleon. And sometimes it's hard to keep track of these elements, especially if they change. If your engineering team changes how they're named or defined, or you remove the element, your experience can break. So now what we do is we start tracking the elements and check how frequently they should be appearing regularly. And we use heuristic analysis to understand if there's a sudden change in the frequency of these elements appearing. And in that, we can then alert you to say, hey, something might have changed in your product, go check it out. And that's in addition to the alerts that we offer for actual in-app experiences showing or not showing. So if an experience hasn't shown up recently, or if it's showing below a threshold, you can configure that and get alerted even by Slack or email. So that's another example of being able to have more control in your product with Chameleon. We also deployed sections within Launches. Launches is the product with which you can build checklists or resource centers. Previously, you had to have all of your items in a single list, but now you can have sublists. So you can have a section which you can click on that opens a new list. And so it gives you more control and a better shape for your resource centers or your checklists to have delineation between the types of content. The other really powerful thing is a section can be targeted to a specific audience, just like any other audience that you create in Chameleon with user attributes or activity. So you may want to have a section that's additional or advanced content for admin users, or you might have a section that's really available for people you're trying to upsell to, and you can show them different features. So sections in Launches is a really great release. And then some things that I'm excited about that are coming. We have a completely new shape in the product, a new way to interact, which is automations. What this is the ability to record a workflow. For example, a user creating a campaign. They may have 4 or 5 clicks. They have to go somewhere, click create new, type a name, hit save. There might be a few things to do, and that can often be boring or menial work before someone sees an aha moment. So instead of having a walkthrough that shows every little step and shows a user how to do these things, waits for them to do it, you can now record an automation which just does this for the user on their behalf. So you record hey, you have to click this, type this in, do this, save that, and then you can trigger that from a button in an in-app experience, for example. So you could have a modal that says, hey, want to create your first campaign? The user clicks yes, and then the second cursor shows them what's happening and then leaves them with that campaign created. So it really helps solve the cold start problem, reduces the friction and work required before a user can get to the aha moment, but also shows them how to do it so that they're not having to learn each time. So that's a really powerful functionality, completely new, different, unique, and we're trying to innovate. That's available in the beta. And we also have another pattern, another shape, which is interactive demos. So this is essentially, think of a snapshot of the product with a sequence or workflow. So in the same way of automations, record something, but then instead of that being triggered in the product, you can have a set of screens for that with annotations that you can embed in a marketing site, in a help doc, in an email, or you can open it up in-app. So you've got this little asset with annotations teaching people how to do something. That's really great if they don't have access to a feature and you want to show them how it would work, or in an empty state where they haven't got it configured, you want to show the full bells and whistles of your product, or if you're trying to upsell people around gated functionality, So there are lots of use cases. And one of the benefits of doing all of this with Chameleon is that you have all of the powerful data infrastructure that we have for the in-app available for interactive demos, great data syncing, so you can target in-app experiences based on demos activity, connection to integrations, synchronized styling, so a user is seeing something outside of the product through an interactive demo similar to the styles they're seeing in the product, so you have much more consistency. And we know that users are shifting left in their onboarding, meaning they want to understand the product and get familiar with the product before they even sign up. They don't want to give you an email address to create an account. They still want to assess and evaluate the product. So this is, in a way, showing them some onboarding or getting them started before they have to log in. So we're trying to be a holistic platform for this kind of product education communication. Lots more things coming soon, but hopefully you enjoyed a bunch of the stuff that we shipped in Q4, in addition to lots and lots of bug fixes, issue improvements, enhancements, tweaks, etc. Thanks for watching.